Okay, looking
Yeah.
ahead, the Niners play the Cardinals this upcoming week. They're 1-3. Should be easy. With the last time we said that, they lost to the Rams, who are not as good as the Cardinals. So, what do we know about the Cardinals? They got no defense. They got Buda Baker. They've had Buda Baker. He's a great safety. I couldn't name another player on their defense. Their offense has the little Vance, who's quite talented, but they're not the most consistent team. I mean, really, they shouldn't be winning this game. But what are you expecting this week?
Okay. Let me say, and I say this with fear and trembling, I think the 49ers are going to win. I just think they're just too good. Although I think the coach, of course, I don't know the name of the Arizona coach. I think the guy's a very good coach, Iggy. Do
Yeah,
you know his name?
Jonathan Gannon.
I think he's a really good coach.
I
Having
think so.
said that, I don't think the Cardinals have enough to beat the Niners. But Iggy, I didn't think the Rams had enough to beat the Niners,
Right,
especially with their two wide receivers out. And
right.
here's the one thing: Kyler has many deficiencies as a quarterback, but he does two things really well. He runs around a lot and he buys time. You
Uh-huh.
know, the way Purdy does, but actually better. He's sort of like a young Russell Wilson in that regard. He's just
He's
running
like
all
Purdy,
over.
but like 6 inches shorter and quicker.
Yeah. And Iggy, he has a gun. I
Oh yeah.
mean, Purdy has proven that he can really throw deep effectively. This guy is a guided missile.
Mhm.
This guy's a guided missile. So he's hard to bring down when he's doing the running around stuff. And he can, from the weirdest positions, he can throw like 50 yards and
Yeah.
right. So I think the Niners don't generally do well containing those kind of quarterbacks. Would you agree?
Yes, and to me, like he's always been able to run around on the Niners, but he hasn't been able to really use his big arm because one, Cliff Kingsbury would always make him throw sideways, and two, his wide receivers were slow and bad. And now he's got that Marvin Harrison Jr., who's been a little inconsistent, but he's not slow. He averages a lot of yards per catch. He's fast. So the Niners are going to have to be pretty careful. It's like the play that goes 5-6 seconds and Kyler's running around, and then they lose the guy. That's the issue. So yeah,
Okay.
the Niners
And,
should win this game, but I'm not that
okay.
confident in them.
And this team not only beat the Rams, this team killed the Rams, right?
Killed the Rams.
Killed the Rams.
Yes.
Matthew Stack killed them. Okay, here's my question. Remember, I said a few minutes ago, every game on the schedule for the Niners is winnable and is losable. Is this game winnable?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I mean, yes, if the Niners are back to where they were last year, this is a game they would win by. They would score 35. They'd win 35-24, something like that. If
Is
they're
this game
back,
is this game losable?
yes, absolutely.
Why?
Because we're thinking their defense is back. Their defense again gave up 27 to a Rams team that had no wide receivers. This Cardinals team is more dangerous than that. So if this Niners defense has a lot of problems, they could give up 30 something points this week.
Okay, next question. If the Niners beat these guys convincingly, does it mean they're back?
I mean, perhaps if they win 45-10 and don't turn the ball over, you could say like that's the Niners we remember. Perhaps.
That's a statement game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would agree with you. If they crush these guys, which they should, you say, then Fred Warner can say we're back.
Yeah.
And I would be more inclined to agree. Uh, Worst case scenario, they lose. What would that mean?
It wouldn't mean the Niners are bad, but it would mean that they're starting to look like an 8-8 team, a team that has it together one week and not the next week. That a team that can beat bad teams, but could lose to a 1-3 team. I mean, geez, if they lose this game, they'd be 0-3 in the NFC.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I hadn't thought of that. So, Iggy, this isn't, well, every game is important, but this is an important game.
absolutely. Again, like let's look at the 49ers schedule and find the really easy games left. This one
Okay.
isn't easy. Seattle next week, not easy.
Not
Chiefs, not
easy.
easy. Cowboys, maybe that's easy. The Buccaneers, no. Seahawks, no. Packers, no. Bills, no. The Bears just beat the Rams. The Rams just beat the Niners. Dolphins, yes, that's easy. Lions, no. Cardinals, no. So At least the
2.
Dolphins are still in the schedule.
Okay, so they have 2 games you'd say are just easy gimmies on the whole
One.
rest of the schedule.
One. I mean, even the Bears, like the Bears look bad, but they have a rookie quarterback. He was the number 1 pick. They just beat the Rams, and it'll be December 8th when the Niners finally face them. And sometimes rookie quarterbacks, if they're good, get it together by then.
I see what you're saying. So you'd say there's one gimme game, and that's the poor Miamis.
Yeah, it's not like Caleb Williams is Jacoby Brissett, but whatever Miami trots out there will be worse than that.
I got it.
Yeah. So win this game. Win this one.
Yeah,
Win
right,
this
because
one.
every weekend is a different universe. You're facing this universe with this quarterback on Sunday. Win it. Win it. And the more you win, the smaller my question marks become, or they evaporate.
Yeah. And we'll see, like, what does a quarterback like Kyler Murray do to this defense? What does Geno Smith do to this defense? In the past, the Niners would make Geno Smith pee down his leg. But, I mean, if you give Geno Smith a little time, he's pretty good. He looked pretty
Yeah.
good last night.
You know, Iggy, I was amazed at how good he looked.
Yeah.
Now, again, he's not a precise passer. He's not Brock Purdy. He's not Matthew Stafford. But last night he was good enough. It's just the other team's offense was better. It was. And Goff played a very good game, especially for him. Iggy, I have a final question. And this is a speculative question, and it's about personalities. We're talking that I'm saying I don't know where the Niners are at. I'm saying every game is winnable, every game is losable. Where do you think Shanahan's head is at? And I'm going to give you some categories: optimistic, hopeful, worried, depressed, neutral, in control. At night, trembles a little. Where do you think he is vis-a-vis the prospects for the 49ers?
Worried.
I would think so as well. Worried.
There's a lot at stake. You don't know. Christian may not be coming back. Ayuk isn't himself right now. Don't know when he's gonna come back and be himself. Yeah. I mean, Trent Williams is looking older. Great to see Bosa and Fred Warner do all that last week, but sometimes they don't. I don't know. I mean, I think gotta be worried. Like, they're already behind the Vikings. The Vikings look really good. It's starting to look the Niners could catch them, but if they don't get the number 1 seed, they got to go back to Minnesota in the playoffs. Scary times.
So you feel it's only 4 games in, but he seems, I would say, when I see him or hear him, worried and preoccupied.
And sleep deprived.
You know, he does look like a sleep deprived. It's like tired, like all of this stuff, the drama is wearing on him. What's happening with McCaffrey is wearing on him. Having to answer questions about McCaffrey and Ayuk is wearing on him. And the fact that the team is not where he wants it to be is wearing on him. You know, Iggy, I feel all of that is palpable.
Let me ask you, if Bill Walsh were the coach of this team and they were 2-2, and in the exact same situation with the Ayuk thing all off season and the shorts and Christian and the bilateral, and would he not be worried?
He'd be worse than Kyle. Now, he might not show it to the media or to the players, but he had a group of people that he was a person he needed to talk things out. And he had a group of people he called that were his friends. And I think away from the team, he would be saying, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I can correct this. I'm just, I'm heartsick and all of that. But he would never show it to the media or to the players. And he would be behind the scenes worse than I think Kyle is.
You're saying beating the Patriots wouldn't change that?
No, because he's realistic. He would know that they stink. He would know. But here's the other thing that he told me. He said that every week, even when the team was doing well, they either win or lose. And then he'd go into a mini depression every week. And he would think, oh, I'm not a good coach. We're going to lose the next game. Why did I ever get into this? All the stuff that probably I would go, a neurotic like me would probably go through too. But by Thursday, this other part of him would say, okay, you slammed yourself. You've ruined yourself. Now prove you can overcome that. So
Yeah.
he went through a process every week of overcoming his inner weakness,
Yeah.
his inner doubt, his inner neuroses. And then by Sunday, he was ready to do it. And then he would go through the whole process again. I don't know Kyle at all, so I don't know what he goes through.
I just feel like you said at the beginning, realistic. He seems extremely realistic, somewhat hypercritical. I
Yeah.
mean, he knows where his team is right now. He understands like how sloppy they were. I mean, they let the Patriots hang around.
Yeah.
They did. And I mean, no one thinks about it because the Patriots weren't going to do anything about it. But like the Niners absolutely let the Patriots hang around that game.
They did. And
Hmm?
and the Patriots had no business hanging around.
No, they were like, "What are you doing? Like, we want to go home. What do you? This game should be over."
What are
He's
you
like, "No,
doing?
let's make it interesting."
We have a long flight. Let us
We're
go home.
rebuilding. We knew we were going to lose this game. Let us stop.